Hey everyone, I am Diana and this is my battle buddy Jess. Welcome back to episode 13 of
Unfiltered and Unarmored.
We're just two veteran women out here trying to figure life out after the military, healing, unlearning, and rediscovering who we are.
And today we're talking about a group of people that honestly do not get enough credit.
Yes, military spouses. Because everybody talks about the service member, but nobody really talks about the emotional reality of being married to a military person.
Exactly. The deployments,
The loneliness,
the constant moving,
the canceling of plans,
the emotional stress,
and trying to hold life together while the military keeps changing everything every 5 business minutes.
because military spouses sacrifice a lot.
And sometimes they sacrifice it quietly careers, stability, time together, sleep, peace of mind, and sometimes even parts of themselves.
Mm. And military relationships are not easy.
Hell no, they're not.
Military couples schedule emotional intimacy around government chaos.
Exactly. And people will say, well, you knew what you signed up for. Bitch, no. Respectfully, of course. Nobody fully understands military life until you're actually living it.
Preach. Because military spouses may not wear the uniform.
But they carry the weight too.
So today we're talking about the reality of being a military spouse, the loneliness, the pressure, the sacrifices, the identity struggles, and the strength it takes to love somebody through military life.
Because honestly, military spouses deserve way more appreciation than they get.
Yes, girl. All right, let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. Honestly, I think the biggest things people don't understand about the military spouses is the loneliness that we feel. I could speak of this because I'm dual. I'm a veteran, but I'm also a spouse, and I've seen the truth of both sides. And they suck because people only see the uniforms, the homecomings, and maybe the pictures that we post, but they don't see the quiet parts. The sleeping alone while your spouse is deployed, them missing holidays, and maybe you get to see them through Facebook or FaceTime. You're missing milestones, anniversaries, birthdays, trying to raise kids while your partner is gone, trying to stay emotionally strong while secretly struggling. Military spouses deserve so much more appreciation than what they really get. What do you think, Jess?
Absolutely. Been there, done that on both sides as a dual military and then as the military member that was deploying or going TDY all the time. It made me have a little bit more perspective from when I was the one that was left behind to the one that was leaving everyone behind. So, yeah, totally.
Also, because supporting someone through the military life is not easy. Trust me, a lot of military spouses carry the whole household emotionally while their partners are away. They're dealing with the stress daily. On top of that, you have the kids. You stress about life. If there's an emergency, you have to take care of everything. And through it all, you have to put this perfectly smile to the whole world like everything is completely fine. So, Jess, I want to ask you in the audience this question. What do you think is harder for military spouses? The distance itself or pretending that they're okay during the distance?
Definitely, it's the pretending you're okay. Maybe it's based on perspective of being on both sides, like you, having to fake it till you make it. I guess us being in the military, we learned how to fake it till we make it. There isn't a class for civilian spouses on how to fake it till you make it and how to pretend everything's fine while your spouse is away. I know that they have the spouses club and shit like that, which was never part of when my first husband was in the army and he had to leave because I was in the Air Force. But definitely, that's not something that you learn as a civilian. You learn over time, trial and error. And honestly, I'm shocked that more marriages make it through deployments, 2DYs, because the person that's left at home, they're strong as fuck to be able to deal with what we as military members hand them leaving all the time.
I think sometimes military spouses just feel lonely while they're still technically being married. And that's where
Mhm,
I come in because I know when my husband's last deployment, he was gone for a year. And that year, we
mm,
became two different people.
mhm.
And then when the year finished and we came back, the love, everything was there, but then we just kind of couldn't stand each other. And I think that's the part that we really don't talk about. It's really hard to try to explain how you really feel when the person you love so much is gone or to your kids, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So it's a big challenge for everybody that stays back home, but also for the spouse that's gone because they're missing so much.
Yeah.
And that's the part where, like, military spouses, I wanna ask y'all too, what's something that people don't understand about your life? Because honestly, I think a lot of civilians underestimate how emotionally hard military life can be on families. And I believe that is so true. Like, I know if your mom is there, if your family's there, oh, they're just gone for a little bit. No, they're risking their life. Some of them are doing missions, some of them are doing all this stuff. I mean, at least for me, I know that my husband's last deployment, I didn't know if somebody was going to come and knock on my door,
Yeah.
you know? And the reality is, the day that they did, I freaking had a heart attack. It was during Pascuas, which is, Good Friday. My husband came back from deployment, I think, like, mid-tour, and he came to surprise me. We were having Easter dinner with my family, and I was looking down, and all I saw was military boots. Everybody in my mom's house just kinda paused. So I saw the boots, and I was just freaking out. Went to I look all the way up, and my husband was, like, surprised. So you know how all those military reels that everybody's like the military person is like hiding, and if you think that's real, the feeling, it is real because I almost passed out.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god.
And just to see him mid-tour, it was fun to see him. I didn't know he was gonna come. He totally surprised me. He got me, and I
Mhm.
appreciate him for that. But when he came back for the whole year he was gone, it was still really hard to come back to being the couple we were before he left. So we had to relearn stuff. Military spouses have to be stronger. Sometimes they literally have to sit down and just cry for a couple of minutes. And let's not talk about trying to figure out how to even work TRICARE or argue with them when your kid is sick. I mean, that is fucking resilience and emotional damage at the same time.
Yes.
Because dealing with TRICARE is not an easy task at all. What do you think, Jess? Have you ever dealt with TRICARE while you were the spouse?
Not as a spouse because my son was under me,
Yeah.
so I didn't have to deal with that. I can't imagine because dealing with TRICARE when my son was older, I wanted to choke the person that I was talking to on the phone, like, just
Oh,
reach through and choke them out. Because 'Cause I'm like, "What the fuck is your problem? I just need authorization." You know, my son is 16. "Oh, well, they're almost an adult. I need their verification." "Fuck you, man. I got his social." He doesn't even know his social. And then when he turned 18 and he was considered an adult, but he was still in high school, I was like, "Motherfucker." So I had to get my son on a three-way call, and he's like, "I don't know. I don't know. My mom knows. Ask her." So, yeah, fucking dry care. Fuck you.
when you're in the military, you go to the TMC, you get checked, you see the doctors, everything. When I was my husband's spouse going to TRICARE, I didn't want to go on post. I just wanted to see somebody outside. I was going through some treatments and I didn't want everybody to know. So just going through TRICARE alone, it was a completely nightmare. And not all doctors take TRICARE, by the way. Every insurance is the same thing, but for some reason, TRICARE makes it a lot more difficult for us through regions and stuff like that. And let's say you go on
Yep.
vacation, it's just a completely nightmare because when you're on vacation, everything goes wrong.
Mhm.
My husband's a veteran as well, and I take care of him. I remember we went to Florida on vacation and he ate some raw chicken and he was throwing up. He had a fever. I had to take him to the hospital. It was really hard because they kept on "We don't accept TRICARE here," and I'm like, "Well, I don't care if you do or don't. I need for you to take care of my husband right now." But he was dehydrated, he was delusional. I was like, "Please, you need to help me out." Luckily, he's a disabled veteran, and they were like, "Okay, we accept the VA, thank God." But they didn't take TRICARE. So, dealing with TRICARE alone is just really hard because you don't know if you're gonna go to a hospital as an emergency. The last thing in anybody's mind to go to the hospital is not like, "Are you gonna take my insurance?"
That shouldn't be.
Yeah, I just need to get this shit fixed. I got the problem. Thank God nothing terrible happened to him. He was on the verge of just collapsing and being a widow right here. And I remember they were trying to take out blood from him and they're asking these questions about the trachea. And not even me, they were asking him the questions. They're trying to take out blood from him and the blood's not even coming out because he was so dehydrated by
Oh,
then.
man.
I'm like, lady, why are you asking him? I'm his wife. I know exactly what's going on. This is what happened. And it just made a pain in the ass. I did get an extended bill in the mail for them, but I had called the caregiver program through the VA and I explained to them, and it's just another long process too. So they make it
Yeah.
so difficult for them. So I applaud all the women and all the men and all the partners
Mhm.
and husbands, wives, mothers, all kinds that are taking care of their veteran because this is something, it's not easy.
Mhm.
It's definitely not easy.
Mm-mm.
So that's when you realize that they don't get enough credit because who are they outside of being a military spouse?
Mhm.
That's one thing that people really don't talk about and how easy it is to be a military spouse. That's not true. Some of them actually lose a piece of themselves along the way because you're so caught up in your spouse's military career that you forget about you. You just become something else. Then you have
Mhm.
them moving around the whole world because PCS moves, new duty stations, and then you have to get to meet people all over again. Some of us, it's hard for us to just become friends. Then you have to leave your job and you have to apply for a new job and continue your career, find new friends, different routine than like we said it before, every 2 to 4 years. And it's like a process over and over and over again. And I don't think us being in the military, I feel like we don't give enough credit to the person that's dealing with all our shit
Mhm.
that sits with
Yeah.
us and that has to deal with all this stuff. And even when you retire, some of us go through cancer treatment, some of us go through back problems, surgeries and stuff, and the person that's taking care of us has to deal with all our fucking craziness as well.
Mhm.
And we really don't realize as a veteran that we don't give them enough credit because not only are they stopping their careers, stopping their goals, dealing with the community that they like, that they forget who they are. So I want to personally thank every single person that takes care of a veteran and that is a military spouse. I think we should applaud you because it's not an
Mhm.
easy task to deal with a veteran.
Mm-mm.
Being a veteran is hard, but being a spouse of a veteran is
Mm.
definitely challenging as well. It's very exhausting meeting new people. Then your kids start going to different schools. Every state is different. So it makes it hard because you got to deal with all the stuff to make sure the kids are in the same routine. It's just freaking everything's new. And then just when you freaking think you got this shit together, the spouse tells you, "Hey, by the way, we're PCSs. There's another move. We gotta go somewhere else." And what can you do? I know, for example, I want to marry a military spouse because I could go to school or I want to have insurance. I'm like, girl, think about that twice. Marrying a military person is that an easy task? You have to be a strong person, especially with a female veteran. Because let's be honest, we are just something else. Or maybe it's just me.
No, girl.
I know I'm a handful, you know? I got lucky that my husband is also in the military, so he kind of understands, like, my whole PTSD, like, when I'm
Mhm.
aching, when my neck, I can't even turn to the left,
Mhm.
all that stuff, he understands. However, when you have somebody that's not in the military, it's really hard for them. They understand because they've seen you go through this, but they don't understand. Like, I remember when my husband was stationed on the West Coast. I followed him because, the whole 50-mile radius, whatever. We went there and his first sergeant was a dick. He really was. So I told him, whatever you do, don't tell everybody that we're dual military. I'm your wife. This is the thing that people don't know. Civilians have more pull than the military. So I remember when my husband was having problems his last deployment. His PTSD was bad. Like his back, like it was really
Mm.
bad. The times that it was cold, our bodies react differently. And
Yeah.
I was, like, constantly on top of him. I'm like, "Yo, you need to go to the doctor. You need to get this checked." Girl, let me tell you that every time he would try to go to the doctor, they wouldn't let him. I went to the TMC, whatever. I went to the doctor, and I was sitting down. One of his battle buddies came up to me and said, "Hey, how you doing, Diana? Everything good?" I'm like, "Yeah, everything's good." And I looked at him, and I was like, "Is that your first sergeant?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, I'll be right back." Girl, I went off on this man. I've said it before, I'm a little hothead sometimes, like I said it in the previous episodes. And I went up to him and I told him, I was like, listen, I'm getting divorced from your soldier. I said his name, his last name. I said, you're his first sergeant. He's going through all this stuff and he's been trying to go to the doctor. You don't let him go to the doctor. He's not doing good. I said, so since you're not taking care of your soldiers right now, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm getting divorced. I'm gonna sign the divorce papers right now, and I want you to go to my house and you take care of my husband. You wake up. Formation's at 6:30, but you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Turn the heater on in my house. Turn the hot shower on. Take care of him. Make sure he takes his medication. Make sure he takes his pain thing because back in the day you could only take ibuprofen and water.
Mhm.
So I was like, make sure you massage his legs, make sure you do everything that you have to do so he could go to fucking
Mhm.
PT. I said, you go ahead and to my house and you do that one day and tell me if my husband is not fucking sick. Girl, I text my husband. I said, listen, I just spoke to your first sergeant. He didn't believe me. But when he came home, he's like, why do I have to go see my first sergeant? I said, because your fucking wife went crazy on him in the middle of the TMC and he had to pull me to the side where there was nobody there because I was yelling. I wouldn't say going psycho, but I was just like, dude, I'm taking care of my spouse. Like, you're supposed to be taking
Yeah.
care of him. So after that,
Mm,
May, he got sent to all kinds of doctors. We were able to figure out what was wrong with him. He
mm.
was able to take care of all his medication and everything. And that's when he finally got diagnosed with PTSD. So I'm like, this poor man was running on freaking a thread. What the hell? So I spoke up about it. I went a little cray cray, but it was totally worth it because he got the help that he needed to
Yeah.
get.
I don't think that's being crazy. You're supporting him the best way that you could. Fuck that, and fuck that person.
The part that people don't see that a military spouse goes through. Because your mom is not gonna see that. They're gonna see, like, why is your spouse in a bad mood? Why are they always cranky? Why they always have anxiety? Why you don't like going to the parties? And you, as the civilian spouse, you gotta try to explain it to them and pretend that
Mm,
everything is perfect. That, oh my God, everything is so fine. He or she is so wonderful. They're like the best thing that's ever happened to me. We're so in
yep.
love. But nobody really
Mhm.
talks about the dark side of being the military spouse and how
Yeah.
hard it really actually is.
Mhm.
So that's why we're taking this episode to thank you, each one of you. I'm including my husband too, because even though he's a veteran, I am a veteran.
Yeah.
And he's my caregiver. So we're each other's caregiver and it's not easy. So that's why every
Mm-mm.
time like I go to caregiver programs, I thank all that go there because it's not easy. Especially if you've never been in, you really don't know what an actual veteran goes through. And sometimes it's hard for us to explain how we feel. I really want to say this here, and I hope that you guys actually listen to it. Sometimes we're not mad at you. We're mad because we're in so much pain, because we have crazy scenarios that we do in our head. We have anxiety problems. We have a lot of things that are going on, and we protect ourselves and we become mad. It has nothing to do with you. The best thing I recommend is for you to walk away, give them the space that they need.
Mhm.
And when they're ready to talk, they will talk because even though I
Mhm.
am a veteran, I had to learn that with my husband. It took me a long time to figure it out. And it's not that he was mad at me or that I was mad at him. It was just like,
Mhm.
you're in so much pain. You want to protect your partner so much from knowing how bad you're feeling. And it just comes out the wrong way.
Yeah.
And not to mention that we say some fucked up shit that we cannot take back.
Mm. Girl, preach.
So sometimes it's just better to bite your tongue and just walk away like I do. And when I'm feeling better, I'll let you know because my migraines are terrible sometimes. They last 2, 3 days. And I'm just so angry and miserable that I just want to bring everybody along with me. So instead of me ruining your day, I'm just going to give myself grace and ignore you for your own health.
Yeah. I am 100% in agreement with that.
So thank you. Like I said, this
Yeah.
episode is mostly for you guys, the spouses. Shout out to all of you.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
shout out to all the spouses and for all the dual military because one of you in your career will get looked over or perceived as less than the person that is either higher ranking or inevitably is a male because it's a male dominated military. I had to deal with that with my first husband when they would call my husband in the middle of the night, and I was like, "How do you not know that I am in the Air Force?" For a while, he was the piss test guy, and he would get called in, but it was always in the middle of the night. I'm like, "Yo, man, we have a baby. You gotta, like, give us some space." But it was all the time. They would always call him for everything. I mean, I guess they really wanted him promoted, and he was like, "Joke's on you, I'm getting out." And, land nav shit, and because he was an NCO, and I was just like,
Oh, for sergeant's time?
yeah, everything. Because I was a female or because I was a spouse, they disregarded me. And then when they found out that I was in the military because I said it, I was like, yeah, I'm in the Air Force. But then I was less than because I was in the Air Force. It was like, oh, that's so cute. That's how I felt.
You are cute.
Go fuck yourselves.
I completely agree with you. It was like I
Yeah.
was the wife, I had all this power, and when I was the
Hmm.
soldier, it was like, what the fuck? My husband never cared about like the promotions and stuff like that. He's never like looked down on me or anything. Cause when I first met him, he outranked me and I didn't even know his rank until I went crazy on him. And then I'm like, okay, sorry. But honestly, he's never been like that. And I never disrespected him in front of people. I still don't, just because that's the way I am. But it's really hard as a spouse because freaking all of a sudden 2, 3 o'clock in the morning formation, drills, going to the
Hmm.
field for weeks. And then if you don't have children, you have to pull more staff duty and CQ. And it's 24-hour duties all the time. And then you just leave your
Hmm.
spouse alone all the time. And then that's why I said it like at the beginning. If you're dual military and you made it this far and you've been married only once, I applaud you because you must have got
Hmm.
some shit through some big ass shit. Or you just were
Hmm.
never ready to get married until you found the right person. Because honestly, if you see a military person, 2, 3 marriages, that's just normal for us.
Yep. When I got to our first duty station, they put bets on our relationship, how long it was gonna last, and I was like, "That's fucked up."
That shit is so childish.
Yeah. I mean, they were right.
In a messed up way, yeah, it is true. And that's dual military. So imagine you bringing your hometown honey and then they just don't understand what the hell is going on. And
Yeah.
that's why I say we don't have boundaries with our spouses because you're not going to tell him, like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, you're not going to formation, or I'm sorry, ma'am, you're not going to go to that formation today at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, where the hell you're going? Like, why you gotta go pick up Miss Thing at 2 o'clock in the morning because she's all drunk? Like, no, but it's
Yeah.
part of the uniform.
Mhm.
Like, I remember one time my husband's soldiers got in a fight at home and the wife threw some water at him. Had to come and stay in my house. Me, as a soldier as well, should have been understanding. But girl, I was pissed. I was mad because not only did I have a person I didn't really know, that it was my husband's soldier. He was all wet. We had to fucking provide clothes for him. Then it interrupted my sleep.
Mhm.
And then to top it off, he's gonna be in trouble for whatever drama he has going on without even
Mhm.
being part of it. So it gets fucking overwhelming for the spouse to go through all this stuff. And honestly, spouses become stronger in ways that a lot of people don't even really notice when all the shit that we go through goes down.
Yeah.
Because when your life constantly feels unpredictable, you learn how to handle things your own way. But the reality is that you're hurting inside because you can't really tell your spouse, like I just said, hey, don't do that. There can't be no boundaries or anything. So a lot of our spouses are carrying the family emotions while trying to keep everything together. The house, the kids, the bills, the stress, their emergencies, and somehow
Yeah.
trying to smile through it all like, shit, we're good. We're
Yeah.
solid. But they're actually overwhelmed and exhausted. And they actually
Yeah.
need help. But sometimes they don't know how to tell us because you don't know how your veteran is feeling.
Mhm.
So you end up walking on eggshells and then wondering, oh, should I tell them? Should I not? So they keep a lot of things inside and then you catch them crying. Or
Mhm.
some of us find love somewhere else, which fucking sucks, but it's the truth, the reality of.
Yeah.
So, Jess, I'm going to ask you a question. Why do you think military spouses feel so guilty in admitting they're struggling sometimes?
I think you already said it. When you get that label of military spouse, regardless of gender, you are expected to be at a level higher than a spouse or a partner that is not in the military. You are always expected to be on it, to be accepting, to be loyal. Whatever is going on in your spouse's life, you are expected to forgive and forget, not to get emotional. And I'm not talking like crying because separations like TDYs and deployments, that fucking sucks. And PCSs that are not for family members. But I'm talking about emotional like anger or fear. You're expected to be the Stafford wife, like a robot,
Yeah.
accepting and wonderful, and like everything is copacetic. And here is your wine or your spritzer, or we will have cocktails at this hour every day. And again, whatever gender you are, you're expected to be like this. And suck it up, buttercup. This is what it is. Deal with it. And it fucking sucks. I feel horrible for everyone that's had to deal with this.
I'm gonna speak on the other part of it, because yeah, you're a stay-at-home wife, but you never realize all the mental shit the person that's in the service goes through. So we get caught up in the role as a wife, but we never put ourselves in their shoes of how much they struggle, how hard the deployments are. Because shit, the deployments are mentally hard. They destroy you. How do I describe it? You have this perfect, beautiful heart. You grew up, oh, everything's so beautiful and loving. But along the way, you become a
Yeah.
harder person and then you see things
Mm,
different. That's why I
yeah.
say I give grace to both of them because I don't think the spouse understands the sacrifice that other person is making. It's a fucking big ass compromise that you both have to make. And that's
Yeah.
why I want to thank the spouses. But like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, what works for you necessarily doesn't have to work for anybody else. Your relationship and your family is your business and you work it the way that you do. I
Yep.
have my own shit and it works for me. Is this functional? Because honestly, it's not perfect, but this dysfunctionality works for me. And this is what I've learned to survive with me and my spouse.
Mhm.
Why I think a lot of people deal with the silent stress and never really see it because we try not to worry, we try not to complain, and we try not to break down instead of actually communicating with each other and telling each other
Mhm.
how we're feeling. When we're feeling overwhelmed, we need to let the other person know, hey, you know what? I need to take a step back and I need to realize what's going on with me. I need to go realize what's going on with you and let's have a conversation and try to figure out what's the best thing for both of us. And like I said it before, honestly, military spouses deserve more than just grace because they do sacrifice. And we, as the military service members, have to realize they did sacrifice a lot for us. Shit, just dealing with us
Mhm.
alone is a whole different drama. So, military spouses are literally here surviving like if they were actually in deployment, moving from houses to houses, fixing washing machines, arguing with truck carrier, holding the whole family together and emotionally waiting to collapse over one fucking missing sock because we all have those little gremlins that steal our socks.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's okay for you to feel the way that you do. It's not easy. We see you, we understand you, we respect you, we thank you. So we want to thank you guys. And before we end the episode, we would like to talk about things people don't really say to military spouses because sometimes people mean well, but some comments are really fucked up. When people tell you, you're so strong, and yes, that's so sweet. But sometimes I think military spouses are trying to have the best time of their life with their family. They don't want to hear that shit. I think usually when people tell you that, it's like they're being sarcastic and being an asshole about it.
Yes.
Oh, another one is when they ask you, like, when are they home? Like, if I knew when the military was gonna bring them home, I would let you know. Well, obviously, maybe you know something I don't know to tell me.
Yes.
Because honestly, at this point, my guess is as good as yours. Don't fucking ask me a million times when they're coming back because if I knew, believe me, you would know. My house would be decorated. He's back or she's back. So quit asking people that shit. That shit's annoying.
Yeah.
So, Jess, what is the most annoying thing people said to you to a military spouse when you were one?
I can't recall exactly what was said, it was how it was said, and I don't know if it's just the Army thing to talk down to people.
Like the army personnel talked to you down because you
Yeah.
were in the Air Force?
No, no, no. When I was presumed a dependent, the spouse, his leadership would talk condescendingly to me.
Sometimes you have that spouse that knows that they're a little bit more and they get a little crazy like I did. So they try to avoid that, and that's why they probably like, "You know what? We don't want any drama." Once you have drama at home, that drama becomes
Mhm.
part of the unit and everybody starts
Yep.
talking about it.
Everybody knows. You're
S
right.
Telling you like, "That's so cute," but, like, it's our way of saying that, "You know what? Your opinion matters, but it doesn't matter because we're on a mission."
Yeah.
So that's basically what it is, you know? And for me, I obviously understood that shit, but I know it's really hard for other people to understand what the fuck is going on,
Mhm.
because sometimes the mission is more important than your family, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
That's what we signed up for.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it's true. Like
Yeah.
I always said, and I always tell people, I signed a blank check. I don't know if I was gonna get deployed. I did it right before 9/11 too. You don't know if you were gonna get deployed, how many times you were getting deployed, if you were gonna come back, because you don't think about that shit. We're young. We're just trying to be out here and survive. It fucking sucks that along the way we fall in love and we drag people that we care about along the ride with us, but it still doesn't justify the fact that they treat you like that. But yeah, like I said it before, if you didn't listen to episode 10, army people can be really mean. And that's why I have a really thick skin when it comes down to that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a good shit talker, so
Bitch, me too.
yeah, you
Come
are.
at me. I know I fucked up last time. That's why I kept that shit in because it was hilarious how much I struggled trying to burn you.
No, but besides that, it's admired to have a person next to you that treats you so well and that sometimes we take advantage of, or we just don't know how to communicate with them to tell them that we actually care. And most military relationships don't work out because of it. And God bless, literally, God bless the people that stayed with us because shit,
Mhm.
it is not
Yeah.
easy. So I want to give a shout
Yeah.
out to my Viking because even my parents say, thank God it's you and not me that are taking care of her crazy ass.
Oh god. That's hilarious. Didn't he bring up this episode?
Yeah, he did actually tell me to write this episode. Double shout out to my Viking for giving us the idea that military spouses matter because he says that I do a lot of things for him as well. And like I said, it's just not easy, man. So a shout out really big to Mr. Paul for taking care of Jess.
Yes. Yeah, my crazy shit.
Shout out to my friend Julie for taking care of her veteran. A shout out to everybody that has a civilian spouse that just takes care of them.
Shout out to my girlfriend Ruth because she is amazing. Because she not only took care of her veteran, but she would always take care of all of us too. Because that's just the human that she is. I love you, girls.
It takes a whole village, friendships to take care of a veteran and to be there and support them because shit, it is just not easy.
Mm-mm. Nope.
I went through a little emotional compensation rant there, just so what do you think? You want to do a little fun segment for the military spouses?
Yes. All right. I'm going to name a military spouse situation,
Ooh,
and you tell me if it builds character or emotional instability.
damn, just okay. Okay, okay, okay.
All right. Number one, crying during deployment calls.
Damn, girl, that's emotional instability immediately because why the fucking call always freezes right when somebody's gonna say, I miss you. I hated that shit.
I know. I could cry just thinking about that. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Okay. Number two, pretending bad Wi Fi doesn't irritate you.
Ah, it's impossible. Nothing tests a relationship faster than deployment Wi-Fi. Because I feel like we're in the old school Verizon commercial. Like, can you hear me now every 12 seconds?
Yeah.
I hated those. I think from the time we were in to now, maybe it's gotten a little better, but shit, that was completely damage control.
Hmm. Yeah. Terrible. Number three, last minute orders ruining vacation plans.
Girl, because that's every military spouse's villain story. Why does the military has to fuck up every vacation in every relationship that you have? Like, why?
Yeah. So many vacations ruined. Number 4, smiling through another PCS move.
That's not strength anymore. That's just survivor mode with boxes. And shit, don't even unpack all of them.
Nope. Do like me.
Shit, I did too.
Number 5, TRICARE stress. Oof.
Shit, that's emotional warfare. Military spouses deserve free therapy after fucking
Mm,
dealing with Tricare. One fucking call
yes.
will fucking drive you nuts.
Nope. Yeah, it could drive you over the edge.
Shit.
Don't tell me what your name is, ho. I'ma find you. Just kidding. Number 6, we'll see being your whole relationship schedule.
Man, you know what? We'll see to me means like, hell no, it's not gonna happen. But military relationships don't make plans. They make
Mhm.
hopeful suggestions because you never know if you got a last minute staff duty, CQ,
Mm,
or you're going to the field because they got an itch they have to fucking scratch.
you're right. Number 7, trying to explain military life to civilians.
Honestly, that shit is exhausting
Mm,
because halfway through explaining it, you realize none of this actually sounds normal. Like,
right?
seriously, how can you fucking explain somebody that you fucking had to burn your shit?
Yeah, nobody's gonna believe that. Okay. Number 8, getting attached to people right before another move.
That
Mm,
one hurts. That one really does
yeah.
hurt. And it sucks because sometimes you do meet someone that you click with that are good people.
Yeah. Number 9, military spouses are honestly built differently.
Absolutely. And honestly, a lot of military spouses are surviving things people never fully see. All right, guys. Literally, all jokes aside for a second, because we can be funny sometimes. But honestly, military spouses sacrifice a lot too through deployments, through the distance, missed holidays, constant change, and somehow they still keep everything together for us.
And I really think military spouses don't get enough credit for that because loving someone through military life is not easy.
Fuck no, not at all. A lot of military spouses are carrying emotional weight people never really see, holding the family together, holding themselves together, and trying to stay strong through uncertainty fucking sucks.
Yeah. And even if they don't wear the uniform, they still sacrifice too.
Absolutely. Military spouses may not wear the uniform, but they carry the weight too, because they carry us as well.
Yes.
So, every military spouse listening, thank you. Thank you for your patience, for your strength, for your sacrifice, and for loving us through one of the hardest lifestyles there has to be in this world.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was deep. This was Unfiltered and Unarmored.
Real talk from two veteran women, life after service, healing identity, and the chaos in between.
And today's chaos was deployments, PCS moves, TRICARE stress, government unpredictability, and military spouses holding everything together emotionally.
Very stressful, exhausting, very will see as a full time lifestyle.
And honestly, military spouses deserve way more appreciation than they get.
Absolutely. Because military spouses sacrifice a lot the loneliness, the stress, the constant starting over, and the emotional weight. A lot of people don't fully see it, but it's real. And we see you.
We do. So, to every military spouse listening, we see you.
Yes, we do. And we appreciate you.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And wherever you listen to the podcast, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all those good stuff.
And don't be shy, send us a DM or email at unfilteredunarmored@gmail.com.
Yes, and military spouses, we want to hear from y'all too. Tell us what people don't understand about the military life. Tell us your funniest PCS story or deployment struggles, or just tell us what kept you going through the hard seasons.
because we're building this with y'all, not just for y'all. We're not perfect,
Never perfect,
just real.
just healing.
Just surviving military chaos one day at a time.
And one chaotic episode at a time, because you know Diana's chaotic. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.